Welcome to the homestead. Glad you're with us. Well, a few videos ago I tried to paint the cottages, but could not do it because the paint was all gelled up and bad. Lee went and purchased more paint, and so I'm going to attempt the paint job again today. Now, there are two cottages that I did not paint the back side of. The one that is what we call the studio now, which is going to be the music room later, and then the one over there, which we call the clothes closet. I never painted the back side of the points on either of them, but on this one I didn't even do the downsides. So I'm going to go ahead and start with that one to do the downsides. Then I'm going to move over to this one, and I'm going to start in the back and do the downsides first before I get to the really good stuff, because I don't want to keep failing to paint the back sides of these buildings. And so that's what I'm going to do. I took my awning and I put it over there over the seating area, so basically I'm just standing in front of this cottage, which is the craft room, hobby room, sewing room, whatever you want to call it, and I put my table right here because it's only a little shady spot. It's probably 6 feet, maybe 7 feet of shade, and it's being blocked right now. It's not going to stay blocked. The sun's going to go that way, and then this will be completely in the sun, and I'll have to move the table to the back side or the side of it to try to stay in the shade. It's really hot today, in the high 90s, and so we're going to see what we can get done. Anyhow, I guess I should say, let's get busy. coming along pretty good. I am correct, there is a purpley hue to it, and it doesn't look bad with the orangey hue over there and the purpley hue over here. It doesn't really look that bad. My fear is when it starts to fade. As that's fading, it's turning more orange. As this fading, it's going to turn more purple. And I know that, and anybody who dyes their hair knows knows that as well. One time I dyed my hair, and it was I dyed it purple. It was a pretty purple, but as it began to fade, it turned into fuchsia. That was not pretty at all. Not pretty at all. So anyhow, I've got this down strip to do, and then I move to the other side. And it's taking a long time. You don't know that because I've probably sped up the camera like I always do. Okay, Lee's helping me out by painting the back side of that cottage on the peak, and then the other cottage that I never got to on the peak. And then I did forget one of the eaves on the one side. And so he's taking care of that for me. And I sure like the way these cottages look with the trim painted darker color. And I'll get over the purpley part because the other side looks really good. And you really can't tell too much of a difference as they stand, not too much. And people aren't going to look the way I'm looking with a fine-tuned comb. Anyway, got this side to do. Like I said, Lee's painting the other side. Let's check and see how Lee's doing. Okay. I think it all looks pretty good. And I think I've got this entire cottage. We can't do the peaks because, we can't do the, the whole roof line, the peaks and the eaves, because of the tarp. When we switch it over to the other tarp, we can finish painting that. Now it's time to go over to the garage, but it's also getting kind of in the evening time, so I think it's time to start dinner. Oh, bunny rabbit, cottontail, he runs fast. Anyway, I think it's time to start dinner, and so...
All right. Well, thanks for watching. We appreciate you. Have a great, great night.